All right, so today's piece is a piece for percussion and electronics by Matthew Burtner. Um, we're gonna listen to a interpretation of it. It's a little bit open. It's from 2008 and it's called Sxueak. You can see some squeaky toys here. And this is the program note, I think. It was inspired by my soprano saxophone, a squeaky toy. The first version was composed for reed instrument and squeaky toys. Special thanks to Lisa Cella, Morris Palter, and Jane Rigler, who played squeaky toys in the first version. I decided this version without sax could work because of their excellent first performances. And then we got some performance notes and then the score. So let's go through the performance notes here. Can be for any number of players. If it's for one player, they should use 6 different squeaky toys. And in an ensemble, each player should use at least 2 squeaky toys. Choose toys that can play a variety of sounds, have a visual impact on stage, and then some theatrical potential. In the first official performance of this version, this was at Monkeytown, USA. Mike Straus, Ted Coffey, Haleh, Abghari, Morris Palter, used a penguin, a corn man, a foot, a caterpillar, a spider, a bone, a football, and a hamburger. I wonder if those are here. Definitely the hamburgers there. Yeah, each toy has a particular range of sounds and lends itself well to particular types of interactions. And the score is a graphic score. Each toy should be approached for its squeezability, pokeability, twistability, rhythmic punctuation, as in like short, sharp notes, and then its potential for sustained sounds. It looks like it's pretty loose. Like we got these cymbals here, dynamic squeaking, squeezing, twisting, poking, changing the toy, irregular squeaks, long drawn out squeaks, rhythmic patterns, and then the electronics look like this, and the score looks like this. So it's a little bit complicated, but it's like a very condensed score, right? You have like 2.5 minutes on this first page, and then the minute 5 and a bit is at the end here, right? And it's just sort of telling you to play something like these rhythms. You start sparse and then you incorporate all these other things over the course of each minute. Looks like it was all assembled in Adobe Illustrator, like this graphic score at least. Um, and then probably the most useful directions are actually the text directions at the bottom, because these indicate like um, different like theatrical things you're going to do on stage, which is what the like audience is going to remember and probably what makes the piece. Things like raising the toy above your head, picking up several toys and then setting them back down, making a loud squeak with the one that is then set down. So yeah, emphasis on playfulness and theatricality. What I like about Burtner's notes is he's very careful to acknowledge all the people involved in the performance and premiere of the piece, like the first people to make it happen. Let's have a look at the composer here. Composer, sound artist, electric or eco acoustics. Okay. Um, I know nothing about him, by the way. I'm just like ad-libbing here. Um, Alaskan-born composer. Yeah, I guess his eco acoustic work is his most successful because his music's been featured by, I guess, in some capacity, the BBC, the U.S. State Department, and National Geographic. So lots of pieces about climate change, seemingly, which I guess he's very poised to observe being in Alaska or having grown up in Alaska. He's a professor of music at the University of Virginia and co-directs the Coastal Future Conservatory. And he's founder and director of the Alaskan nonprofit EcoSono. And he has an album out on Ravello Records called Icefield from 2022. What's kind of interesting here is the connection to University of Virginia. Seems like he has a very steady source of income that allows him to engage in these other projects. Now, I do want to look up all of the people he mentioned just out of curiosity, but I might have to sort of assemble them together here. Okay, so these first three people who worked on the first version, Lisa Cella and Jane Rigler, are both flautists, and Morris Palter is a percussionist. I believe Morris is Canadian and the other two are American. Yeah. So probably premiered in an academic context, I would guess, as all of these people have like academic positions. Monkeytown is a city in West Virginia, probably close to the University of Virginia, I would imagine. Yeah, so these first three names, well, I guess, yeah, we already talked about Morris Palter, but these other names who did the first performance of the second version, Mike Straus is, I believe, a saxophonist, an American saxophonist, and then Ted Coffey is a uh, electronic musician and sound artist, and Haleh Abghari is a Iranian visual artist, probably also a sound artist. And I'm sure all these people have connections to University of Virginia in some way. Um, so yeah, the premiere was actually a quartet. The version we're going to be listening to today is just a duo, and yeah, seems like a pretty fun little piece. The recording I'm listening to today is in the video description, and I'll let you know my thoughts. Okay, yeah, I thought this was fun. I'm glad I took the time to watch a performance of it because it does have a nice slow build to it, especially this performance. I like the number of different toys they have in this performance, and they also incorporate some like saxophone and bass clarinet mouthpieces. It seems I couldn't tell because of the quality of the video, but that seems to be a nod to the first version of the piece, which I guess had soprano saxophone. I got this piece through a workshop called, well, I'm not gonna name it, but it was a workshop for like electronic music and instruments. And I think either the previous year or the same year, I actually had a piece with sampled like squeaky toys, and I think it was a little bit controversial among some of the faculty members. So I don't know what, like, if I sort of inspired some of the faculty to find a piece that sort of like, was within the establishment and did the same thing. Um, but I like to think that that's what happened because um, it's just like when you're a no name and you have an original idea, it often creates waves like this, right? And then people end up finding pieces like this, and it's funny how it kind of circles back to you, and it's like, oh, now I know about this piece, and I don't know if it's definitely doing something completely different with the same sounds. Like I don't know if it's going to inform my practice at all, but it's kind of funny. Like whatever idea you have, you can always find a way to justify it, and sometimes other people will find a way to justify what you did. You know what I mean? Um, so I guess it's just encouraging that virtually everything has been done, especially in something as experimental as like mixed media, um, classical music. So don't be afraid to make a squeaky toy piece, I guess is my point. Next, I think we are getting into the vibraphone pieces, and I actually have quite a few. I have no marimba pieces or glockenspiel pieces, just vibes. So I'm excited to get into that. And yeah, we'll take a break from the unpitched stuff for a while.